Hello, thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For this week's read, for the main part of the read, I'm using the Astro Matrix Tarot. Here's the box. And astromatrix.org is the website on the back. Hopefully that'll focus. I don't think there was like a creator. There should have been. I don't know. Either my brain skipped a beat or it's just not there. If you go there and you want the deck, though, go there. I didn't see like a creator. It's just dawning on me now. For the support of Oracle cards, you are Clairvoyant Oracle Cards by Belinda Grace, illustrations by Elaine Marzin. Website on the back here is rockpoolpublishing.com.au, A as an apple, U as an umbrella. I have updated dice. So I have a 22-sided dice I'm going to use for the major arcana. I'm using number 22 as the Fool, so I'm making that adaptation. And I get a 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and I use a 4-sided dice to choose the element it's going to represent. And mathartfun.com is the website for that one. Hopefully you can see that website if you're interested. Okay. And with that, if you would like a reading from me, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information that's below, same email. And let's go on to your read. Hello, Leo. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Leo? All right, I'm liking what we're seeing in the first couple cards. Let's see if it continues. So there's good energy here. There's a question mark coming in the forward. You could end up blocking something. The question is it in your best interest to block it or not? Let's keep going and find out. Whatever this situation is, the reason it started is because somebody was very blunt. It could have been you. Could have easily been you. And there's just this very blunt moment where the truth was just bam. It was just right there. It might have been a moment where, you participated in a couple things and somebody asked you the question just the right way and you spit out the answer and you're like, wait a minute. Now that I'm saying that out loud, I'm realizing what's going on here. A very blunt start. Very blunt. This was not difficult for you to start with. In fact, when it came out so like this is what it is, everything just changed in that moment. It might be one of those things where if this was a job thing, just for argument's sake, you said something out loud and you're just like, oh my God, this is bull. And all right, I'm done. And you just moved on to another job real fast. You just didn't even think about it. You're just like, well, this is ridiculous. I'm not putting up with that. And we're done. Could be a friendship. You just were saying something right out loud. And you're just like, I can't believe I've been putting up with this long. And you just like, I'm done. And you just left. Could be something like that. It's very blunt. Whatever it was, very, very blunt. Boom. And whatever it also was, you made up your mind that we're not going back to that either. I'm not going back to that. Not repeating that. I figured it out. Done. Not doing that again. I feel like there was something was clearly wrong, obviously, the way it was so blunt. But once you moved on, you're like, and I'm not going backwards. If somebody else wants to do that, that's their problem. That's not my problem. I'm not doing that. Not even negotiating it. Nope. Things went very quickly. Is there anything about that we need to talk about, things going quickly, other than this is where it started? Other people might have a problem with that, but that's a them problem. Because I keep getting the birds here. I'm noticing the birds, and it's funny because when I think of wands, I think of fire. I know there are some people, some readers that think of wands and they think of air, which is fine. the reason I got was like, because wands or trees create error. I get it. It's not how I read them, but when I'm getting this, things happen very fast. But I'm also getting somebody probably has something to say about it. And once in a while, somebody does bring it up. It's not for them. That's a them problem. Some people don't like what you do. All right, so what? I really don't think of Leo as somebody who like stands around and validates their decisions. You make a decision, you know why you did it, and that's enough. And you do it. If somebody else doesn't like it, then that's a them problem. That's a them problem. And you just move on. I don't know if does it sound too curt? Am I saying it's weird? I don't, and it's not meant to be cold. It's just kind of like I got too much going on here to like, oh, you didn't like you didn't like that I made a berry pie? You wanted an apple one? You wanted a pumpkin one? Then you make it. I made the berry pie because that's what I wanted, and that's that. They don't like it. That's a them problem. They can do it themselves. Make their own pie. You don't like it? Make your own pie. I don't know. I keep seeing it that way. Like I'm not over investing in somebody else's problems. Somebody just seems to not let it go either, and they seem to try to like almost angle it against you every now and then. There is some conflict with that, but I also feel like that's a them problem. Are they sucking you into this argument? Because I feel like we need to kind of put that in perspective. If somebody keeps coming back to you with this issue, especially if it's like management or maybe it's a spouse, could be, relative, friend, I feel like you need to kind of, you don't need to do anything obviously, but I feel like it would be in your benefit to just kind of like step back and think that out for yourself and like, why do I put up with this person's opinion? Do I need to? And if I do, is there a way to kind of rectify this to where they can just kind of keep their little opinions to themselves on certain subjects? If it's a done deal and they don't like it, fine, they don't like it. I heard you. Move on. I don't know. That's kind of there. Maybe something needs to be addressed there, which Leo's not usually shy. Not usually. I know I've heard from a couple that like, they're like, well, that's not really me. But there's a lot of things in your chart. Most Leos that I know are not shy. Most. I'm going to say. Moving forward, there must be a reason that we're talking about this. Oh, is that an issue? Okay, so whoever is not a fan of yours, I feel like maybe that's the thing too. Maybe they're not really a fan of yours, and they're just finding a moment to like really let you know that. There's a change in attitude here. They want something from you. So I feel like this is how this is all connecting. So there's this blunt change in the past. You did what you had to do. It made sense for you. You did what you wanted. And this one person, I feel like it's at least one person, just keeps throwing it. Every now and then they throw it in your face. All of a sudden, you're their best buddy. Because they want something from you. They want something from you. So they're walking away from that past and they're like, all right, I didn't like that, but I'm just going to pretend it didn't matter because I want Leo to do this for me. So all of a sudden they're buddy, I'm just going to ignore all that thing and they're just going to kind of let it go. They want something from you. I feel like we're repeating a pattern. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. That's the question. Should it be blocked or should it not? That's the question. We keep moving forward to it. You might even be seeing this before it happens, kind of like, wait a minute, they're being nice to me because they want something from me. You might flat out be seeing it. Ace of Swords coming in, halfway out, which is telling me somebody's telling half-truths. And you got the Star card coming in, which is your opposite card. Somebody's messing with you. They want you to do something, but they might be a slippery ticket, so be careful. Sometimes people are very, very developed with the manipulation. So it's almost like if you had like a 5-year-old kid and you're telling them to not do something just so they'll do it, if you follow me. So they might be kind of like trying to get you to do something because this energy is a little slippery. It's a slippery ticket, I'm telling you. Because there's an ending coming up. You could block it. I'm getting you could block it. But the question is it in your best interest? And I don't think it is. I feel like they're trying to get you to block this ending. And it's not going to work in your. They're going to be there. It's like somebody's trying to get you to block this, but then they're going to wait till it works to their advantage, and then they're going to change it. They're going to move forward with the change when it's at their advantage. It's almost like if you block it now, the worst part is it right now. If the change goes through, if the change happens now, it's in your advantage, and I almost feel like that's why they want you to block it, because they don't want you to change while it's at your advantage. They want this to change when it's in their advantage. So they're saying this isn't really working for you, but this is what they want. They want you to block this change. Now it's the death card, so it's talking about a change, but I'm not really sure what level. So maybe it's a work situation where you're changing departments. Maybe it's like a relationship situation where maybe it's time to move, or you want to move, and it's where you're going to move to. Something like that. What the advice is to kind of like step back from this change just for a second, and you ask yourself, if this change happens, what do you get out of it? Don't worry about this other person and what they're telling you. Step back and decide for yourself. Talk to different people. If you want to get more research done, or you want to get somebody else's opinion, exactly. Get somebody else's opinion. Because I'm getting, what does this do for you? Why would this, because there's a threshold here. You could go across this and this is good for you. You could have something better. Somebody's messing with you. Somebody's playing with you. You just got to take a minute, step back and go, wait a minute. This person usually is a jerk to me. This person likes to point out all my shortcomings. And now all of a sudden we're buddy-buddy and they want me to do this. Is that in your best interest? Is that in Leo's best interest? Talk to the people who have always been loyal to you. Not to the people who like to throw you under the bus every now and then. People who are like, you know what, Leo, you do great things. You always look out for me. I look out for you. Those people. Talk to those people. They're going to tell you, yeah, I saw you talking to so-and-so. You know that person's not really your friend, right? You know they don't really like you. They're just, if they're being nice to you, they're trying to use you for something. You know that, right, Leo? Those type of people who like highlight that to you. I'm not saying you like hearing that when it happens, but I feel like for certain people, it's going to click like, oh yeah, that person always says, this person always has it out for me. I know. Talk to that person. Ask them how this situation, if you block it, how does that work to your advantage? If you go through with it, how does that work to your advantage? They'll be honest with you. That's different. Like somebody pointing out, like, be careful of so-and-so, they have it out for you, Leo, versus somebody else saying, Leo, when you did that, you screwed it all up. Those are different energies. Somebody has your best interest at heart when they're saying, be careful, don't befriend that one. They're going to screw you over, Leo. Versus somebody saying, you know what, Leo, you screw everything you touch up. That's a totally different energy. Granted, you might not like it when people say either of those things to you. I get that. But, like, be aware that, of the one that actually cares about what happens to you. You know what I mean? Because you got an option here. The question is, are you going to block it and be stuck? Or are you going to go through with it and get a whole new offer that might go a lot better for you? I'm getting this card in between them, which is telling me it's totally up to you which you choose. This is free will. There's no guarantee you're just going to make the best decision. You got to make the decision that's best for you. Maybe you do need to block it, and there's something you need to learn in this situation. That's your business. You know what I mean? If you're like, no, I need to block it, and for whatever reason, maybe the person who's not really the nicest, you just got to learn some more things with them. I don't know. Take it with a grain of salt. Maybe it's time for you to move on and have something better. Maybe it is. Work with the people who look out for you. Work with the people, again, I know this sounds annoying, and I apologize, but I keep getting like, if certain people are like, hey, Leo, watch out for that one. They don't like you. They're just going to use you. That's actually a good energy. Versus like, oh, Leo, when you picked up those boxes, half of them were broke, and you put them in the wrong place. That one's not a fan. That one's not good for you. Somebody here wants to help you. Somebody here is going to talk your ear off, but it's about what they're saying. It's about, like, do they really care about how people affect you? Do they really care about you? What is this, rewards? You have rewards possibly coming forward, but it's about sticking with the people who are, like, looking out for you because they actually care what happens versus people who just want to use you. I know that well, Leo, you'll tell me. I don't feel like Leo likes to be told what to think about people. If you like somebody and you want them to be your friend, then that's your friend and that's your business. I get that. I totally get that. But, just take it with a grain of salt. If there's somebody who's kind of like, Leo, I don't think that person's nice to you, or Leo, I think that person's trying to use you. That's not somebody who's putting fault in the decisions you make in the sense of like, you picked that up, you put it over there, it was just all wrong. This is somebody saying, you know, I trusted that person before, and then, you know, I was digging the dagger out of my back for months afterwards when I realized what they were really doing. I just didn't want the same thing to happen to you because I can understand why you would trust them. I just don't want you to see, I don't want you to go through what I went through. That's all. It depends. It also depends on how they talk to you too. If they're like talking down to you or they're talking to you eye level, like, you know what, I'd buy into that too, but I did at one point. And they screwed me over. I just don't want them to screw you over. Keep that in mind. So do you want this to go through or not? It's up to you. According to this reading, it's better to go through than not. But if you decide you have to block it, totally your call, obviously, clearly. Anything else? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, same email, it's below. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.